you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
Coach Steve Kerr. All right, he's signing a 2-year deal with the Warriors, making him the most paid, highest paid coach in NBA basketball. All right. Just off of what we know about his time with the Warriors, right? Is Steve Kerr an overrated coach, or does he deserve every penny that's come his way?
I think he deserves every penny that comes his way. Like, it doesn't matter who's on your team. Like, you can say like he got carried like by KD or Curry, but we saw once KD left, and it was really, really, honestly, in my opinion, just Curry who was really carrying that team. He beat a better team in the finals in 7 games. So like at the end of the day, you got to tip your cap. Like, he's what, 4-time champion as a coach. You can't really argue with that.
No, bro, that's an overrated coach for sure. Like, yeah, 100% overrated.
He was overrated?
Yes.
He was supposed to beat that Celtics team when they just had Curry and old Draymond and old Clay.
Why are we giving Steve Kerr the credit for that? Did Curry not average like 35 that finals?
He's the
head coach. I mean, he was the one calling the shots for the most part. So it's just like,
oh, you think he was on the whiteboard like, hey, Curry, go ISO?
Dude,
I mean,
he got the best out of Jordan Poole, and we see what Jordan Poole is doing right now, right? Like, Jordan Poole is damn near like unplayable. He was literally their sixth man.
He was unplayable on the Warriors last year.
I'm talking about when they won a championship, he was their 6th man pretty much of the year. He was the 6th man of the year that year, and he won a championship, and now he's terrible. This is like 2 years removed.
That has nothing to do with Steve Kerr.
So Steve Kerr didn't get the best version of Jordan Poole we've seen.
I guess last year, you think he got the best?
2 years ago when they won the chip.
Was he not on Steve Kerr's team last year? Yes,
I'm talking about when they won the chip, though.
But he was on his team multiple years.
Next question, bro. You're not gonna answer it.
Just a few things. Just a few things. I believe that there's a lot that goes into head coaching that we have to discuss. First of all, head coaches, they pick their staff, right? Steve Kerr has had many great assistant coaches on his staff, like a lot of great people. We go from don't quote me.
The Kings dude
was Mike. Yeah, it was Mike. Mike Brown was on the Warriors staff, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
We talk about Mike Brown. Luke Walton was over there, I believe. Mm-hmm. He put in some good years before, could put, we talk about Kenny Atkinson. These guys definitely helped his cause, especially when it comes to the X's and O's standpoint. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Kerr, but he has to deal with a lot of different personalities. He's had a lot of different types of players that came through the Warriors organization. And like Ian has, talked about just a little bit, he's gotten the most out of a lot of these guys. Like, we talk about guys like Andrew Wiggins, for example. I mean, he was a quote-unquote bust before he got to Golden State. What? Then he came in. He was an all-star, arguably the second best player on that championship team.
He was the second best player.
So, again, you talk about a Jordan Poole type of player as well. I mean, there have been rumors coming around that are saying that he doesn't have the greatest attitude of a player. He was definitely able to come in with Steph, all of those other guys, and be a quote unquote splash bro junior or whatever you want to call him. He was a good player for them. He was. And last but not least, I'll pose this question to you guys. Is there any other coach, any other head coach that could command the respect, attention, and get the most out of a Draymond Green? Let me know.
I'm trying to think.
No.
Yeah, see, that just shows Kerr's greatness.
That just shows that he's stubborn and he decided on keeping a mid player and building around him.
What are you talking about?
We could. I believe Coach Kerr has a lot. There's a lot of things we could blame Coach Kerr for. Like, let's talk about Kevin Durant leaving the Warriors, right? You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about Draymond being enabled to the point where he's punching at players, right? Like, there are things that we can harp on him about. But overall, I believe, he's done a pretty good job. He took Mark Jackson's system and ran with it. Now these guys are all Hall of Famers. So, I mean, hey, I think he's deserving. at the end of the day.
I think it's Mark Jackson. Let's keep it real,
dude. And one thing I'll add about Steve Kerr is he might have like taken on Mark Jackson's like team and stuff, but he did renovate it and he made it better by making Steph Curry in that offense a passing offense and running through Steph Curry. Like before Steve Kerr, it wasn't just passing. Like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have said this a bunch of times. They weren't passing as much as they were with Mark Jackson. When Steve Kerr came there, it was all about passing. And I think that is the reason they're so good. Like Draymond is able to get Steph Curry open just because they literally like they think alike. Like they know where he's going. They know when he's gonna cut. Like I think that's what Steve Kerr adds. Like he added a layer to that team.
And the league catches up with you. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like you can coach the same way for however long this team has been together, 8 years or whatever it's been. Like it catches up with you. Like, and he deserves a lot of credit.